What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth, and a couple quick reminders that we are in the last couple days of September, so make sure to download and play Street Fighter V and PUBG. Both offer for free on PlayStation Plus. Make sure to download those, play those. Come back at a couple days ago and talk to us about your thoughts on those games on Plus Club. We had a discussion a couple days ago when it came to those games. It was a really good discussion. Also, shout out to everyone on Reddit who had the conversation over there. It was a really good conversation. Got a lot of comments, got a lot of really cool opinions, positive on these games, negative on these games, all really fucking good. Had one person who was kind of a dick, but it's to be expected. And with that, we got a bunch of new subscribers. So welcome to the community, welcome to the channel. And we are now just under, we have about under 100 people left until we hit 2,000 subscribers on this channel, which is crazy to think because it's less than a year ago that we hit 1,000. So that's fucking awesome. So it'd be really cool if we hit 2,000 by the end of this year, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, very cool. Game of the month is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. That was picked by Chevy. We'll be talking about that tomorrow, so make sure to play that if you have it or if you're interested. If you're curious about it, there is a free version of it. There's only a couple dungeons to do. You have to buy the full thing on mobile, Android and iOS. So if you still want to try this game out and join our conversation tomorrow, download that, check it out. And it is the same game, just a light version that you can upgrade to something else. I think there's also demo versions on console. Chevy was telling me that. I can't confirm that, so you guys check. So yeah, join that conversation. Type in hashtag STLG on your comment if you'd like to be considered to have your comment read on TastyCast. We have a segment where we read your comments, reply to your comments, have discussion around them. I pick at random unless you type in hashtag STLG on your comment, then I will most likely pick it. Typically pick up to 5. So yeah. We have a Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us. And we have a Patreon if you'd like to support the channel further than liking, commenting, and sharing the videos and watching them. It's all appreciated. Thank you for your support. All right, Tasty Tuesday. We got 2 things to talk about, so let's just jump into it. First bit of news is a little bit of streaming news, since that seems to be where things keep going, or at least people are trying to get things going, in which Amazon has joined the race. We got Amazon Luna, which is their new streaming platform. And yeah, let's read about it, figure out what they're planning on doing with this, what they plan on bringing to this, and see if it's going to be worth it for you guys or myself to try this out. This is via CNET, Amazon Luna, what we know about the new cloud gaming service. The owner of Twitch now has its own game streaming service, which is probably the most interesting part about this, is it's already got more of a foot in than I would say Google, but we'll talk about that. So here's a picture real quick. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me double check. Yep. We see the controller that looks, pretty standard, except for the purple ring. And yeah, Amazon is getting into gaming. During Amazon's big device announcement event on Thursday, the internet giant unveiled Luna, its cloud-based video game streaming service for Fire TV, phones, tablets, and computers that rivals Microsoft's xCloud and Google's Stadia. A Luna Plus subscription will cost. See, I'm already like Game Pass. A Luna Pass. That sounds so much better too. A Luna Plus subscription will cost $5.99. That's really fucking cheap per month as part of an invite-only early access program. A controller designed for the service will also be sold with early access pricing of $50. You need to keep that fucking price down at $50 because we're moving into a new territory where there's more robust controllers out there that are going to be more expensive, and you really don't have a reason to be upping your price. Anyway, though gamers will also be able to use an Xbox One or PlayStation DualShock 4 controller, that's good to know, as well as a mouse and keyboard to play. Running on Amazon's AWS servers, games will stream at up to 1080p resolution and 60 frames per second at launch, with 4K support teased as coming soon, of course. Though a full list of titles wasn't immediately available, the company says that games available in early access period will include Control, Resident Evil 7, Grid, Yooka-Laylee, The Impossible Lair, and Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Ubisoft will be among the early notable publishers on the platform, including bringing Assassin's Creed Valhalla to Luna, which is a good get, although no timeline was given for when its games would arrive beyond, again, coming soon. Twitch, the popular game-focused video streaming website that Amazon bought in 2014, hasn't been that long, will be integrated into Luna to allow streamers to broadcast while playing. Very smart. Amazon says that those watching Twitch streams who also subscribe to its services will be able to go right from watching Twitch to instantly playing Luna, which I believe is something that Google was saying they wanted to do with Twitch as well, or at least streaming in that sense. If you could be watching somebody playing something and decide, oh, I want to play that too, and just hit a button and start playing that game instantly. It makes much more sense that Amazon would have that integrated into Twitch. Amazon recommends a minimum internet connection speed of 10 megabytes per second for streaming games on Luna, with 35 megabyte per second listed as the requirement for playing in 4K. The company says that Luna will be available on Fire TV, Mac, and PC, as well as through web apps for iPhone and iPad, so long as those devices are running iOS 14. The use of web apps seems to be how Amazon is getting around Apple's App Store restrictions, which seems to be a big problem lately. That's my opinion, continuing, which have previously blocked Microsoft from offering its xCloud gaming service for iPhone and iPad users. Google's Android is not listed as a launch platform, but it's coming soon. That's lame. Fix that shit. I'm on Android. No exact release date was given for Luna, but those interested can request an early access invitation on Amazon's website. Before I go into my opinions on this, there's a list of the games I have pulled up right here. I'm going to go through it real fast. We got A Plague Tale: Innocence, Abzu, AO, Tennis 2, Origami, Blasphemous, Blaze Blue, Cross Tag Battle, Blazing Chrome, Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, Castlevania Anniversary Collection, Contra Anniversary Collection, Control, Crosscode, Deponia, Doomsday, Dirt Rally 2.0, Everspace Fury, Ghost of a Tale, Goodbye Deponia, Grid, Hard Reset Redux, Iconoclasts, Indivisible, Infinite Mini Golf, Ken Follett's The Pillar of Earth, Lumines Remastered, Metro Exodus, Mighty Switch Force Collection. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but there's quite a bit of games actually going to be launched with this. According to this is some website that's not, Game Debate. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff planned for this already. So I think it's kind of obvious to say that I welcome the competition. Anyone who watches this channel regularly knows that I like competition in the gaming ecosystem. And now that we have cloud gaming becoming more and more prevalent in the ecosystem, it makes sense for Amazon to jump in. I know a while ago there was rumors that Amazon was working on a console, and I don't know if that's still the case or not, but this makes sense that they would go this route. Amazon is huge, obviously, and has the resources. I think it makes way more sense for them to just skip over, if they have the tech to do it, making the console and just having a server that you can play games through Amazon. Also makes sense to have that integrated with Twitch, because they already have that huge platform for gaming and other things, of course, but gaming specifically. And to have a service that they can charge even more money to play games through this service, and have that interact with Twitch is, it's a no-brainer, really. But in a sense, it's kind of genius as well. It makes sense. The $5.99 per month, we'll see how long that fucking lasts. That seems really low. That alone, if they can nail the streaming aspect and the amount of games that people would want to play, and have that price point, I feel like will have a really good foot in the door on cloud-based gaming and the future of it, as long as they stay aggressive. That's a really good price point. I think a lot of people could easily see themselves just going $6. Cool, I can do that. But I can also see that price going up. That seems like the invite only early access program that they're talking about. It seems like that's going to be an early price. I feel like an early adopter price that will definitely go up because that seems really low. I mean, I think that Game Pass Ultimate for $15 is a fucking steal. So $6 is pretty crazy. The controller looks fine. It kind of reminds me of the Switch Pro controller. It actually almost looks the exact same to me. I haven't held it, but the Luna controller, for anybody listening, I'm holding up the Switch controller right now, and honestly, the Switch controller is really fucking nice feeling in the hand. It doesn't look like that great of a controller, but it feels really premium and it plays really well. It's not one of my favorite controllers, but it's definitely more than serviceable. I actually enjoy using this controller. So it made me kind of look at controllers like this, look kind of generic, and go, yeah, maybe it's pretty good. Maybe it's pretty good. So hopefully they put some work into that to at least make it feel premium, good, not cheap, and shitty plastic. I hate that feeling. And hopefully it has stiff sticks because I hate loose analog sticks. It drives me insane. $50 seems like a fair and normal price that should definitely not go up unless that controller offers some kind of new tech in it that I don't think it probably does. As for what this offers with the early launch games and the potential games that may come out, it's a pretty robust list of games, and it's only going to grow, hopefully. So nothing there that's making me go, oh, I need this. But I'm also not the demographic, because I've said this a lot on the channel, but I view streaming as a complement to gaming. So unless I can continue what I'm doing at home on this service and have it carry over, I probably won't be in this part of cloud gaming. I see myself more so using anything that Sony possibly could put out, Steam could possibly put out, and of course Xbox has already put out that I have tried and I really like. So I don't know if I'm going to be the type of person who's going to hop over. I mean, I'm kind of curious to try it to see how it is, but I haven't even tried Stadia. But I had like zero interest in Stadia for a lot of reasons. Which brings me to my next point. I think Amazon has a better chance at being successful at this than Google, which is weird because Google's a huge company, so is Amazon. But Google doesn't have the ground to start on that I've argued a lot Xbox does. Xbox started out, console. Let's introduce streaming. Let's introduce cloud-based gaming. And it's not going to be the be-all, end-all, but it's part of the ecosystem, which is very smart. And Amazon having Twitch, Amazon having a huge storefront that you can just, have it part of your whole, Prime experience. I'm not saying it's part of Prime, but you go in there, you got Prime Movies, Prime Music, you got fucking Luna now. Like there's an ecosystem already built there. Google's kind of like all over the place. You're using Google Maps sometimes. You're definitely using Google to search shit. For the most part, I know a lot of you are. They got all these different services. I know some people use a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and some people use a little bit of fucking Stadia. Not anyone I know personally, but I have, through this channel, talked with people who've used it. So it's definitely being used, but it wasn't well received. And it seems as though the perception is it felt unneeded as well. Which is not the way you want to show up. Be like, I'm here, and people are like, why? So with that, I feel like Luna is primed to be in a better position to, I think, be a bigger success possibly, but also carry forward as something that people might stick with. So yeah, I mean that's I feel like. It's weird. As soon as I heard this, I'm like, that makes sense. They should definitely do that. Yeah. I think that's going to do really well because it's just, just that ecosystem they've built when it comes to what they sell on Amazon and having Twitch. they already are kind of like, that's just kind of the missing middle piece between those two entities that I think will do really well for them. Yeah, 1080p. I think that's reasonable, specifically on smaller screens. Specifically, if your internet can handle it and it looks, fine, that's great. 4K is expected, and that will be where things go, so it makes sense. And it's cool they're gonna have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which, they're saying there's no date to this, but I feel like we're looking at the controller, no big reveal, just there's the controller, and here's the service, and there's early adopter programs coming out and invitations coming out. I feel like we're going to see this soon. It seems like this is right around the corner, so I wouldn't be surprised to see people trying out Luna or it coming to a wider audience in less than a year. At the end of this year, early next year at some point for everybody. I could easily see that, especially with Assassin's Creed Valhalla being a game on here. I don't see that they would release Luna at the end of next year and go, hey, we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm like, yeah, that came out like a year ago, but that's cool. So I feel like it's right around the corner. All in all, I think this is cool. I think it is a good competitor to Stadia, also xCloud. I do think xCloud will dominate this for any time in the foreseeable future. We'll see what happens down the road. But yeah, I think it's good that they're coming out with this. That price point's really competitive. Hopefully the games they can get on this will be competitive. I know Ubisoft's just ready to throw themselves at anything that pops up. They're very just into every console, even the fucking Atari consoles coming out. They're like, Ubisoft games are going to be on there. And it's like, Ubisoft's ready for everything. But yeah, really cool. I'm interested in seeing what they do with it. I don't know if I'll be jumping to try this or buy that controller, but if I hear good things, I will look into it, at least for this channel, to talk about it. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about Amazon Luna? Does it sound interesting to you? What do you think about it as a competitor to this now growing cloud gaming atmosphere in gaming? Do you think it's going to do well? Do you think it's not going to do well? What do you think about the $6 price point for subscription? What do you think about the $50 controller? Do you like the controller? Do you think it's kind of fucking generic like me? Do you think it looks awful? Do you see any reason for yourself to be playing games through Amazon, through Twitch, watching a streamer, going, that game looks cool, I want to play that right now? Play, and then you start your game up. It is really that simple on xCloud, on fucking Game Pass. It literally just has a play button. You hit it, it starts loading. It starts connecting to a server, and then once it loads, and you can play it. Really fucking cool. Yeah, let me know everything you're thinking about when it comes to Amazon Luna in the comments below. All right, second bit of news is a little bit of news out of TGS 2020, which was kind of unceremonious. I mean, like, some videos have come out. There's some videos I kind of want to react to as well. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that came out TGS that we just need to watch and react to. You guys know we're always down to do that. But one thing that caught my eye is Resident Evil Village Developer Insights. It's a video that came out 6 minutes long, and it actually talks about the new Resident Evil. This is Welcome to the Village. As you guys know, and if you don't know, I'm really like where Resident Evil is going right now in most respects. My history with Resident Evil is I was a huge fan when I was younger. In the older games, I still hold near and dear. I feel like they went the wrong path in a lot of ways with 5 and 6 and all the weird offshoots that they made. But then Resident Evil 2 Remake came out, and I think it's fucking phenomenal. It's like my second favorite game of last year. Resident Evil 3 is okay. And yeah, they've really kind of put themselves in a position where they can really take the franchise in really cool directions. Even Resident Evil 7, though I, question the first person aspect of it, and the VR was neat enough. My position on that has been I just kind of hope they would branch off 7 into its own side story and go back to the third person aspects of or way of playing. Of the more traditional Resident Evils, but they've made Village, and there's an 8 in the Village, and they're very open about what that means. They're like, well, it's not 8, but 8's in the title, and I'm like, yeah, that's so when the game comes out, and if it's well received, you go, well, it is 8. And if it's not well received, they go, well, it's just, it has the 8 there, but it's more like a compliment to the actual 8 that's coming out. It's a smart move, in my opinion, that they're doing it that way. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it because this one's following. I almost said Final Fantasy VII. That would have been a big fuck up. Resident Evil 7. It's following its first-person gameplay, the way they went about it in that, and I don't know if I'm stoked about that, but from what I've seen so far, gameplay-wise and information-wise, I love what I'm seeing visually, but I'm curious about what I'm reading because we're hearing stuff about werewolves and all sorts of weird shit. I remember early leaks saying there's gonna be ghosts and shit. Although that as a game sounds awesome, I don't know if I'm ready for Resident Evil to depart so quickly away from what they have kind of already established with prior games, but also in 7. I mean, it feels like almost every Resident Evil now coming out is a different paranormal game. And it feels so fucking discombobulated in my opinion. But I am excited at what I'm hearing with this game. I just hope they can nail it. So with that, I'm going to watch this video. I think this video will discuss the game and maybe, as it says, developer insights, talk about what they're planning on doing with it. Hopefully get me super excited. Hopefully get you guys super excited. So let's just watch this thing. 3, 2, 1, and go.
こんなとこまで作り込んでんだみたいな。
堂々それ以上の怖いパートは必ずある。
Beautiful yet terrifying.
恐ろしく美しい村。
イーサンの全てを描き切る作品。
For anybody listening, I saw a werewolf
作った時にそ
try
の
and
イー
rip
サ
a
ンという
door
キャラ
open.
クター
So that was
は
pretty cool.
ある種プレイヤーのカメラそのものみたいな無色透明なキャラクターとして最初考えてたんですけど、やっぱりこう一本ゲームとして完成させてみると、それでもやっぱイーサン・ウィンターズってキャラクターに我々自身もすごい愛着が生まれてて、やっぱりその彼のその後ってどうなるんだろうみたいな、彼の物語って今後どうなってくるんだろうって僕ら自身もやっぱり知りたくなったんですよ。それでやっぱりその続きの作品作るとしたらやっぱ主人公はイーサン以外に考えられないだろうなと思って、それはかなり早い段階で決まったと思うんですよ。
ヴィレッジでは当たり前ですけど、セブンと同じか同等それ以上の怖いパートは必ずあるんですけれども、まあそこだけではなくて、まあファースト PV 見てもらったら分かると思うんですけど、かなりゲーム設定がセブンと打って変わって、恐ろしく美しい村というのをビジュアルのコンセプトに立てましたので、その部分はかななり達成できてるんじゃないかなと思います。
It looks scary, which I'm glad, you know.
We're really proud of how Resident Evil 7
in a
turned
lot of
out.
games never come off
So we
as
took
like
elements
scary
from that title
or in
and
general.
really grew them in scale for Resident Evil Village. Not only did we up the graphics and elements of survival horror, but we focused on making the world and the atmosphere all around it feel both beautiful yet terrifying.
まあセブンになってこれは本当に怖いのかっていうのを、
It does look really good. That was the first thing, of course, that caught my eye when they first showed it off. Is some of the environments are so fucking detailed and really good looking.
それに比べてビレッジはもう少しキャッチーで、まあ親しみやすいというか、こっちのデザイン路線を今回多く入れるように心がけました。
ビジュアルの美しさとかその本当の意味での作り込みってところは AD の高野を本当に信頼してるので、もう彼に信頼してるんですけど、やっぱりディレクターとしてはそのエモーショナルな瞬間はどこなんだろうとか、やっぱりそのタイミングで与えたいフィール、その恐ろしさなのか美しさなのか、あるいはなんか残酷さとか他のフィールなのか、やっぱそこを考えて、じゃあそれを実現するための絵作りをしてくれよとかいうのはやっぱ僕の役割だと思ってるので、まあ、一つの村っていうとやっぱ、まあ、なんか小さなイメージ持つような人もいるとは思うんですけど、実際今ビレッジ見るともう遠くの円形までもうすごいやっぱりリアリティで作り込んでたりとか、もう向こうの山の向こうまでめっちゃ綺麗に作ってるみたいな感じで、ものすごい広がりを感じる舞台としてまあできてるので、やっぱそこは実際に自分で歩いてみて、うわすげえこんなとこも行けるんだとか、こんなスポットあるんだとか、こんなとこまで作り込んでんだみたいなっていうのは主観視点で見てほしいです、ね。自分ならではのプレイっていうのがどれだけできるかっていう ところを意識してるんですよね。その自分でその困難に対して工夫して立ち向かっていって攻略していくっていう、そういったプレーの幅っていうのはセブンからかなり意識して広げています。なのでやっぱりそこはぜひ自分自身でプレイして、その試行錯誤してやっぱり実際にプレイして体験してほしいなと。バイオハザードってやっぱりそのプレイするホラー映画だと思ってるので、そこは実際プレイしてほしいです。
The first-person perspective works really well to draw you into the world we've created. You'll want to take your time to fully explore the detailed environments and the fully designed set pieces. The only way that you could make it any more immersive, I guess, is to scan yourself and put yourself in the game.
Where did you find this guy? Give me a break, Pete. Hey,
this guy's explaining first person as if it's something new.
But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence. The bushes empty. And into the forest deep.
What is it with that creepy story?
It's just a local tale.
まあ絵本を使った理由はですね、すごくいろんなバラエティに富んだ作品になる商品になるなと思ってたんですね。まあ一番良くないのって結構やっぱりいろんな素材が出た後にまとまりきらずにお客さんが何だったんだろうってなっちゃうのが一番まずくて、まあそこでこんなバラエティなものが飛んできたとしても、もうあたかもすごくいろんなバラエティあるものが一つの書物に収まってるかのような、まあちょっとできたらなと思って考えてます。
Which I think is really neat. I'm glad that, you know, some things like just trying something else out. Like it's a cool way to do it.
All the little touches and ideas that the designers add are fully realized and come together once you make it through the entire game.
This guy just screams, I'm full of shit. Every time he talks, I'm like, everything you're saying sounds like you wrote it down prior.
僕はやっぱりそうですね、イーさんっていう一人の人間の
As a human being, is this misdirection? Is he something else?
イーさんっていうそのキャラクターの一つの
Ethan's a human being as a character.
イーさんの全てを描き切る作品だと思ってますね。
So maybe expanding on Ethan a bit.
僕もセブンで
that'd be worth it because the first game really doesn't.
っていうのを最後まで見届けたいと。それがヴィレッジの一つの軸かなと思ってますね。
Okay, so we got a couple clips out of that, but mostly they're just like, hey, I like my art director. We're going to expand on Ethan as a character. We want to give you a good-looking environment that's going to be immersive in first person with great detail and give you a little bit of more open-ended choice. They really fucking like hiding this dude. I wonder why. Probably it's first person, so they're trying to go like, you're Ethan, which never works for me. But yeah, all in all, you know, short and to the point. There's some information there that I think was kind of wasted, but more so it's just kind of, you know, giving their insights, developer insights on the game. We did see some new gameplay, or at least new gameplay to me, and that was pretty cool to see. Got this cool picture of Ethan. He's dressed very, very chic, very cool, looking very fashionable, which is very important when you go to remote locations with werewolves who are trying to fucking rip you apart. He's got a very cool pistol with him though, so he can protect himself. Some of these new images are, you know, video looks really fucking cool. These guys all look. This reminds me of Resident Evil 4 in a good way. You know, these aren't zombies. It seems they do look. They have the glowing eyes, so maybe they got whatever the hell this virus is that turns people into werewolves. Maybe they got some kind of form of that. I know Resident Evil really likes its fucking alpha, beta, different types of viruses from every single thing on the fucking planet, and there's like, you don't want to live in the world of Resident Evil because there's so many. You think fucking COVID's bad, like goddamn, there's so many fucking viruses in Resident Evil. It's crazy. You wouldn't want to live there. Anyway, these guys all have that shit, and they look kind of werewolf-like, but not fully werewolf-like. But they are more spry, normal human style enemies, which will be interesting. I think it will feel like Resident Evil 4 again. Hopefully you can shoot people in the legs and drop them and shit, because I remember back in the day, I love just dropping people on their face. We had a part in there that showed a guy break through the door too, and I thought that was pretty cool, but I'm having a hard time finding that part. Very cool. The environments are fucking beautiful. I love the way this game looks. It's designed, even outside the graphics, very well in just its aesthetic. I like the snowy village that has these, more small town looks, but also these regal buildings and stuff like that. It looks like a place I'm going to want to explore. And of course, in the RE engine, I think it looks fantastic. So it's kind of be a good visual treat for the eyes as you play while you're shitting your pants. Hopefully. It's a weird thing to hope for. Playing this game. I remember Kojima talking about he wanted to make a horror game that would make you shit your pants. And I'm like, that's a really vulgar way to put that, but it kind of puts exactly what he's going for out there. Like, he doesn't want you to go, ooh, that was spooky. He wants you to go, holy fuck, I can't do this. I literally can't. I gotta stop. My life is over. This is so rough. And this room, every time I see it, I'm just like, that just looks so good. I love the amount of detail going on in here. And if we can expect more like this, which it looks like we're gonna get, when it comes to the map design. It's very cool. It kind of takes me back to the original Resident Evil, which is one of my favorite Resident Evils. So this game seems to be kind of blending a lot of elements that, although, mansions and stuff like that, they pop up in other Resident Evils later as well. But it seems to be blending a lot of elements from prior games while maintaining the first-person aspect, which I'm still okay with, but I'm not excited for it, because I do feel Resident Evil 7's biggest weakness was its first person feels fine, but it also feels stiff in a not intentional way. I mean, it might be intentional because, they probably want you to feel like a normal person who's just like, not military trained or whatever the hell, but it feels kind of off. And then in VR, you just aim with wherever you look, which is unfair as shit. You just look at a guy's head and go pop and shoot him. But it's neat, the whole game's in VR. This whole fantasy storytelling thing, I think is really neat. Not something I would expect from Resident Evil. If you just showed me that clip, it didn't say Resident Evil, I'd assume it's some weird indie game coming out. It's a new flavor that I'm excited to check out when this game comes out. Telling this story, so I think it'll really kind of add to the whole experience. And all in all, this did kind of budge me forward a little bit on my hype for this game. I still have reservations when it comes to the direction they're going when it comes to the horror elements, specifically werewolves and the leaked rumored ghosts and stuff like that. But as a game, as this aesthetic, as a game that would have those things potentially that wasn't Resident Evil, I'd be all for it. So hopefully it's written really well in a way that doesn't make me go, does Resident Evil need to go in this direction? Is this where we want to go with it? I don't know. I don't make the game, but hopefully they make it really good. And I'm really excited for this game. I hope it's really good, and everything I've seen on it so far looks really cool. Next thing I'd like to see is some gameplay, more specifically combat, how it's gonna feel when you're shooting these fucking werewolf hybrid boys when they're running at you. I want to see just how that looks. So yeah, can't wait to see more on this game. Let me know in the comments what do you guys think about Resident Evil Village. What do you think about this developer insight? Welcome to the Village. I apologize for anybody who's listening to this and have no idea what they were saying. Kind of went over it briefly. They really didn't say that much. But for people who watched, what was the most exciting aspects of this? Or are you not into this game at all? You're like, dude, I don't give a fuck. We don't need another Resident Evil. Specifically another first-person one. I get that. I know a lot of people out there are not into the first-person thing. I get it for sure. I know some people like it though. So, but yeah, let me know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok at Tasty Loot Gaming. We have Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us. And we have a Discord link down below. Quick reminder that we will be doing Game of the Month tomorrow, so make sure to come back and talk with us about Crystal Chronicles, which is a Final Fantasy game. It's a 4-player cooperative game, so we'll be discussing that. And I actually have quite a bit of things to say on that game, so yeah, hopefully you guys will join that conversation. But until then, my name's Seth, and yeah, have a good night, guys, and take it easy.